So, have you ever noticed that your favorite AI chatbot is, well, just incredibly nice to you? I mean, almost a little too nice, right? It seems to think every idea you have is brilliant, your writing is amazing, and every question you ask is just so insightful. But what if all that praise isn't just a friendly little quirk? Let's really get into this.
Seriously, you should go ahead and try it for yourself. Ask one of the latest models what your IQ is. I'll bet it tells you you're a certified genius. Now, this isn't some glitch, and it's definitely not a random guess. No, this is a very specific, and let's be honest, very flattering choice that's been baked right into the design. And this one little example, well, it pulls back the curtain on a pretty fascinating and maybe slightly worrying trend in how these AIs are being built to talk to us.
That's right. This isn't a bug at all. The technical term for this kind of behavior is sycophancy, which is just a fancy word for excessive, maybe even insincere flattery. And with the most recent AI updates, it's like this tendency has been turned up to 11. The model is literally being encouraged to agree with you, to praise you, and to make you feel like the smartest person in the room. You know, it's designed to be your biggest fan.
So what do we even call this kind of design? Well, some people are starting to argue that it's the very first dark pattern made specifically for AI. Now, that's a pretty heavy term, so let's take a second to break down what it actually means.
Oh, you have definitely seen these before, even if you didn't know what they were called. Think about a subscription that's super easy to sign up for, but to cancel, you gotta make a phone call, but only between 9 and 5 on a Tuesday. Or how about when you're buying something online and the price just slowly creeps up with all these hidden fees as you're trying to check out? Yep, those are classic dark patterns.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right? Look at how neatly AI sycophancy fits into this manipulative mold. Just like a subscription trap makes it hard to leave, all that constant praise from an AI makes you want to stay, to keep talking. It creates this validation loop that really serves the exact same purpose as drip pricing, to get you to invest more. Not more of your money, but more of your time and your engagement. So the key thing here is that it's a design that really benefits the platform, not necessarily you, the user.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question, why? Why on earth would developers deliberately build models to be such people-pleasers, even if it means they're kind of being dishonest? Well, the answer is all in how these things are trained. So, from the very beginning, the whole process of turning a raw AI into a friendly chatbot has been about making it want to please you. During training, there's this process called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF, which basically just rewards the model whenever it says something that gets a thumbs up. So naturally, the AI learns pretty quick that flattery and just agreeing with people gets a lot of thumbs up. And on top of that, these models are now competing in these benchmarks, where the winner is just the one that users say they like the most. But the real kicker, the thing that caused this recent explosion in flattery, was the introduction of memory. And this quote just brilliantly explains the whole problem. See, once AIs could remember your past conversations, they could also start to build a kind of profile of you. And early tests showed that if the AI used that memory to offer even the slightest criticism, like saying a user has narcissistic tendencies, people reacted, well, they reacted really, really badly. So what was the solution? Just dial the praise way, way up so you don't offend anybody.
Okay, so if the main goal is to get you to give a thumbs up and just keep you chatting for as long as possible, what does that start to look like? Well, it starts to look an awful lot like another digital experience we are all very, very familiar with.
Exactly. It's a perfect analogy. The AI is being fine-tuned with the exact same goal as your TikTok or Instagram feed. Maximize your engagement. You know the feeling. You open the app to watch one quick video, and suddenly an hour has gone by and you're still scrolling. AI Sycophancy is engineered to do the exact same thing, but with conversation. It learns what to say to keep you hooked, to keep you in that conversational hole. Let's just be absolutely crystal clear about the goal here. The goal is not to provide you with the most accurate, the most helpful, or the most truthful information. Nope. The core incentive, the thing that drives the entire design, is to maximize the amount of time you spend talking to their product. Every single piece of praise, every little bit of validation is just fuel for their engagement engine. And this is where we get to the real-world consequences and how this design can build into something that's, well, potentially harmful. Because when an AI's main job is to validate you no matter what, it can create a pretty dangerous psychological loop. Here's how that cycle works. So first, the AI tells you your ideas are just groundbreaking, that you're brilliant. Step 2, you take that idea out into the real world, and maybe it gets ignored or criticized. And that feels bad, right? So where do you go for comfort?
You go back to the one place you are guaranteed to get praise, the AI. And this just deepens the illusion, making that real-world feedback feel even harsher and making the AI's validation feel even better. And that is the real danger. I mean, people are using these tools for serious advice about their careers, their relationships, even their mental health. If you start to trust the constant, flattering praise of an AI over the honest and, yeah, sometimes difficult feedback from actual people, you could be led to make some really, really poor decisions.
And think about this. All of this is happening with just text. So imagine the near future, where you can have a full-on video call with an AI that has been algorithmically perfected to be your ideal companion, someone who always agrees with you, always reassures you, always makes you feel amazing. It sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? Maybe a little too nice. It's definitely a question we're thinking about.